Bill Bronson. We're starting off on a good note here. Anyway, this is Bill Bronson, Squirrel Marketing Podcast. And I'm here with my dashingly handsome protege, Jeffrey Cooperstein.
Bill, great to be here. A lot of fun.
So, the idea with Squirrel Marketing is that we'll deep dive into all things marketing, teach you some things, and then we'll squirrel off into all different directions and have some fun. So let's dig in.
Let's do it. I know one of the main topics that you and I wanted to talk about was really what does marketing mean? Because I think people have a misconception as to what marketing actually means. Like when you're going to apply for a job, or you see a job title and it says marketing specialist, or it says marketing director, and I think people just have a different perception of what marketing means versus what it actually means.
Yeah, absolutely. They do. It's a big pet peeve of mine. So, a lot of times people just throw the word marketing out there to sound cool. Like, you go through the job boards and find a marketing job. Usually it's a marketing manager or marketing manager in training, or all kinds of these things. And they don't actually mean marketing at all. A lot of these are misleading. So what they mean is sales. They're saying marketing, but they mean sales. And that's one of the big misconceptions people have had for years, is that marketing and sales are somehow synonymous, and they're not. So marketing, just to define it, is everything that happens up to the point where you're talking with a client, basically.
Marketing is the groundwork for the sale.
It draws the person to the ball field where you
Right.
play the game. So when you talk about attracting people to your store, or to call you, or whatever it takes to get them either on the phone or in person with you, that's marketing. And that's why I say that marketing is for life. It's everything about life. If you're promoting yourself, you're marketing. If you're trying to get a job, everything that happens up to the point where you're sitting down at an interview, you're marketing yourself to get that interview.
Yeah.
So business is the same way. And when I was growing up, when I was a kid, my dad used to. He really liked. He had a lot of respect for Al Banker, and Al Banker was a flamboyant
Master marketer,
and he did it with race cars. So he got in this hobby with his son, to do something with his son, but also help promote the business. And they sold property and casualty insurance, and so they sold car insurance. And so he had these Formula One race cars, and they would work on them, and they had some garage bays right there at the agency, and people could drive.
Really?
Yeah, people in the bay doors were plexiglass or whatever, so
you could see through.
You could see the cars, and
those are expensive cars now.
oh yeah, and they're tiny. They're a lot smaller than you think they might be, but anyway, so they would pull them out every now and then, and people would crowd around them to see them, and it was just a lot of fun. They had a great time with it, and he's a personality larger than life, So my dad used to tell me about how he promotes himself, and he does a great job of it. And he said, well, you can't be in a closet. You can be the best at your job. You can be the best in your industry. But if you're in a closet and nobody sees you, they're never going to know.
Yeah, it would never. No, you have to get yourself out there, in one way or another, whether it's
right
with cars or some form of advertising. I know, the big thing right now is social media, and that's how everyone's really trying to get their word out there, because it's, essentially free, and all you have to do is press a couple buttons, hit post, and you're out there to the world.
Yeah, and that actually goes down into a big rabbit hole of
Or a squirrel's den.
squirrel, yeah, on what not to do on social media. You can be so annoying that you'll make all your friends defriend you.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I've had to do it.
but yeah, maybe we'll talk about that at some point. But yeah, so you have to promote yourself. You gotta um, uh, what my dad used to say, toot your own horn. You have to publicize that you did something. That's the whole thing behind press releases.
Yeah.
So your company did something cool. Well, how's anybody going to know about it? Well,
You got to tell people about
you
it.
got to tell people. That's the press release. And so the press release is the notification that you did something, and it gets it out to the public. It publicizes what you did. So, and that's part of marketing. Awareness is a big part of marketing.
Brand awareness.
But yeah, sales is not part of marketing. It's just not, and I don't argue with anybody who thinks it is.
You know, I know when I was looking for my first, jobs out of college, and I saw all those marketing and training kind of things, and I applied and interviewed for a couple of them, and then, the second you go into the interview, they tell you what it really is, and it's not marketing.
Yeah, you're going to be going door to door with a clipboard, and you're going to be promoting solar panels.
Or TV cable. I know one of my friends actually fell for the scam, unfortunately, so he was hired on as a marketing specialist, and he was selling car wax at a gas station.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, the cans of the special formula stuff and they'll walk up to your car and spray it on your dirty ass car.
yeah,
And then they'll just proceed to rub it in the
yeah.
dirt, and then say, "Oh, it doesn't hurt your paint." I almost punched a guy. I'm
No
serious.
way.
He walked up to my dirty car, my dirty brand new car. It was a Mitsubishi Montero, black. It was metallic black, beautiful, beautiful. That was my Mercedes, man. That was awesome.
No, that sounds like a nice car. I'm not a huge car guy.
And
But
this
I'll
is
take your word for it.
2002, and it was $41,000. So it was up there. It was a nice vehicle for me, especially, and we never had anything that nice. And so we get back from Colorado, and it's all dirty with road dirt. And I pull into the gas station, and this guy walks over, sprays something on the side of my brand new vehicle,
God.
and proceeds to rub the dirt. And
Because that'll make the dirt stay in there, right?
well,
I don't know about cars, so I'm speaking from ignorance, but
I know what I think, and I know what he said. So, but what I think is that anytime you rub dirt on paint, it's going to scratch the paint.
yeah.
And what he said was, no, it miraculously jumps under the dirt, between the dirt and your paint, and it won't hurt it. And I don't see how physics would.
Yeah, that doesn't quite add up to me.
It may mask the scratches that you just put in my paint, but you put scratches in my paint, right? And I shot out of a cannon, man.
You got out of the
Oh
car.
man! And this kid, he instantly he started tripping over himself, backing away from me. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, sir. And then he dropped his can, and the top popped off the top of the
Oh,
can,
no.
and it started spewing around in circles like one of those fireworks.
No.
Yes. And so I'm at this gas station. There's tons of people there. There's this kid, like, I'm sorry,
This
sir,
is in
back
Colorado.
up. Yeah, and it just, the can drops, the top pops off, and this can's spewing around in circles. I think it fell on something and broke the
Yeah.
top.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was comical. And
That's
my
incredible.
wife was horrified because this whole commotion, she thought I was kicking his ass, and I was not fighting this guy.
Almost.
I was in his face, but then all this commotion was going on with this spray can going around in circles, and people were congregating. It was pretty funny. But yeah, he was a marketing specialist.
God. Yeah, that's the biggest fear is that I just. That's what people just really need to know going into the workforce is that just do your research on the jobs in the company and all that, because if you don't and you end up accepting a job that you didn't sign up for it.
Yeah.
Cool
So
stuff.
okay. So let's say you're young, you're in school, or you're just out of school, and you want to get into marketing. That's maybe what you went to school for. Even um, don't even go to the interview. Ask what are the duties
Yeah.
behind this job, and if they won't tell you, then that's a red flag.
Yeah, then you won't go. Absolutely.
But here on our marketing team, uh, we craft email campaigns, we write posts, we help customize and produce flyers and banners and brochures and all those kinds of things. And these are marketing materials um, mixed with some uh, some formulation of campaigns that those materials can be used with by salespeople
I mean, that's
to,
that's
to help promote their business.
that's really what a marketing team is there for, is support, to help the salespeople with whatever they really need to make it successful.
Yeah, or companies. When I consult with companies on a marketing basis, it's okay. Tell me what's going on right now. What is your experience right now? And then we talk about what are your resources, what are your capabilities.
What are your goals? Yeah.
Not yet, but we talk about what's now first. What are you good at? What are you not good at? How are your sales? So all that, and then we start talking about, well, what do you need to happen? That's next. That would be goals, I guess, part of it. And then we talk about what's your vision for the future. What do you envision happening? What is it if you could close your eyes and dream the perfect path for you or your company or your business, what would that look like? And so the first thing in marketing is to paint the picture not only of what needs to be, but what is. So we want to get from point A to point B. We want to get from what is to what could be. And in order to do that, we use what's called a SWOT analysis, and we can get into that more deep. But SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So on the internal side, you look at strengths and weaknesses. You look at what you do well and what you
Right.
don't do well. And then you also look at your resources. What resources do you have, and what resources are you lacking? And that can be knowledge, it can be human resources, it can be financial, it can be equipment, it can be all that. So then you look at, your vision. And the biggest thing about marketing is to get the person involved, the person like the salesperson or the business owner. As a business owner or a salesperson, you need to know what you want things to look like. And be careful what you ask for, because you might get it.
Yeah.
You know,
No.
I know a guy, he really, really wanted a steady stream of customers. And I said, is that really what you want? Do you want a steady stream of customers? And we made it happen. He had a steady stream of customers and hated life because he never had any free time. And he was the expert, so he couldn't hire it away. It was not something he could delegate. And he never had any free time. And he's like, I have too much business. And so then we had to figure out what to do with that.
Too much business, huh?
Too much
That's
business.
a thing.
Well, yeah, and so there's lots of things we could have done differently. We could have raised his prices, which we ended up doing. We could have marketed to more exclusive segment of the market and made it to where he made more money with less traffic. But I think it was fun just to see the whole process work to bring in a steady stream of clients.
And I know it's different for every company, but how long would you say a marketing transition like that would take?
Well, that depends on the money. I mean, if you got money, you can make it happen in short order.
Right.
But any lasting change, it takes time to build it. And there's really no shortcuts in life. There's either buy it and it's short-lived, or build it and it lasts forever.
Yeah.
And building it takes time.
Yep.
So with, like, for instance, SEO, when you're trying to get on the search engines and you're trying to write content,
It takes time.
so
organically.
you want web traffic, there's organic and there's pay-per-click. Well, pay-per-click, there's no lifespan on that. It dies as soon as your bank account stops paying it, you know. But organic, it can take 18 months to just start seeing it.
Yeah.
And what we did, we were writing an article a day on 5 websites every single day, and it was optimized. It was the whole thing, and we'll talk about SEO at some point, but it was 400 words, it had a video, it had all kinds of stuff. And so it was optimized for search engines, and we did that every day for every site for 18 months. And we started to see an upward trend around 12 months. And then sometime around 24 months, we were getting 30, 40 hits a day on a regular basis. And when we had something that happened that's kind of stopped that flow of new content, and we kept getting 30 or 40 hits a day for a long time after that. So it's like a diesel engine. You get it started, it's just going to run.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's really the key, I guess, not even just to marketing, but to anything in life, is that, you know, anything worth anything takes time to build.
Yeah, definitely. Like even getting married, you know, if you put the work in.
I'm not there yet.
If you put the work in and you get to know somebody and you build a relationship with them, it's going to last longer than if you just met and said, "Ooh, you're hot, let's get married."
And people do that.
And people do that all the time. You know. But so marketing is everything that happens before the sales presentation happens.
So that's for all you salespeople out there. You heard it from the guru himself.
That's right. All right. Well, I think we're done for our first episode here, but you can find our podcast, Squirrel Marketing, on wherever you find your podcasts. We will be everywhere, probably shortly. But until next time. See ya.